baseball. We're at AT Park as we get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series, Padres and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. As always, alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, last night, kind of a game that you want to forget about, even though it was a tight game. Tonight, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying score a couple of runs early and then let Matt Cain take the ball.
Well, scoring early for Matt Cain would be a good thing because he is a good front runner. I think yesterday was a situation where guys may not have been all on the same page mentally, jet lag, tired, who knows? Because they did some things yesterday that we haven't seen them do, and mainly it was reflected in the amount of walks that were issued. I don't think that's going to be an issue here tonight. Plus, they're playing a game against Clayton Richard, a left-hander. The last time they saw him, they didn't know anything about him at all. Now they do. So that's going to be something that it should favor the hitters a little bit more. And bottom line is the Giants just have to play a better, cleaner game of baseball. And they do that, they'll compete with anybody.
Okay, so I'll add clean baseball to my list as well. All right, when we come back, Amy G, well, she's going to talk to and about, and you're going to hear from Matt Cain. We'll have all of that after this.
Say yes to amazing deals on your favorite Toyotas. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Yes.
After dropping Game 1 last night in this 3-game series against the San Diego Padres, your San Francisco Giants need to bounce back tonight as they look for a Game 2 victory. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and Giants manager Bruce Bochy told the media yesterday that pitching will determine who prevails in this series. And, of course, last night for the Giants, walks were a prevalent problem as they issued 12. Looking to contain those 90-foot freebies this evening, the Giants starter Matt Cain. He also has the very tough task of containing the Padres' Adrian Gonzalez. And Matt Cain will be our forward right choice. One thing in Matt Cain's favor, Adrian Gonzalez has been struggling. Coming into last night's game, he was hitting just 152 in his previous 10 games. But Gonzalez has had success against Matt Cain, batting .326 with 15 hits in 46 career plate appearances against Cain. And Matt talked to us about what he attributes Adrian's success at the plate to.
His patience, really. I think he's gotten more and more patient every year. I think he doesn't care if he walks, and then again, he doesn't care to hit pitches that he doesn't want to hit. If you're going to go up there and throw strikes, that he's not looking for, or he doesn't really, think he can drive, then he's just going to go ahead and tip his hat to you, and either you're going to get him out or you're going to walk him. But he's going up there to look for certain pitches, and he's going to hit them. He's going to hit them hard if he gets them.
Well, the Giants not only looking to limit the walks this evening, they're also looking to get those bats going, and they will be facing the Padres' left-handed pitcher, Richard Clayton. Game 2 underway in just minutes, but after these messages, we will check in with our Sportsnet Central studios for an update. Stay with us.
Free Boardwalk is open this weekend. 60 degrees here at the yard. Light winds, humidity at 65%, and it is partly cloudy, but the emphasis on partly.
Perfect night for baseball.
The ferry has arrived. All right, let's take a look at the Padres lineup. Bud Black's lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Little change in the lineup. Tony Gwynn will lead it off, followed by Eckstein, and then Adrian Gonzalez. A lot of at-bats, pretty good numbers against Matt Cain lifetime. Headley, Hairston. Hey, Max's kid gets a start. Will Venable, followed by Torrealba, Hairston, and Richard.
The Giants defensively will set it up with Torres, Rowan, and Scherholtz. That's your outfield with a great arm in right field, Nate Scherholtz. Uribe Sandoval on the left side of the infield, Downs and Huff on the right side. Benji Molina will be in the squad doing the catching, and the man on the mound tonight will be Matt Cain. And let's take a look at your starting pitcher stats. They are brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. 7th outing, 2-1 on the year. Finally got a win in the month of May. Once he got out of April, he really could have won 4 games in the month of April, and he wound up with nothing but a loss. So he's back on track. ERA excellent, 30 strikeouts in 38 innings against 10 walks. A 3-1 ratio is fantastic. You'll see a fastball, a curveball, a slider, and a changeup, and his fastball will go 90-95-ish. Let's take a look at our Toyota keys to the game. And tonight, after 12 walks the night before, strikes are important, especially strike 1. Number 2, gloves. Got to be the team that leads the National League in defense. That's what this Giants defense is. They got to throw good leather to beat this Padre team. And bats. You need some bats to come up with that big hit, especially with 2 out and runner on. And those are our Toyota keys in the game.
First pitch is a strike. Just what you wanted.
Bang. Strike 1. Thank you. Very nice.
7:15 first pitch. The next pitch to Tony Gwynn is popped up. It'll be Andres Torres in left field. I will never forget him on that Sunday fly ball at Citi Field, where the wind pushed that ball back like 50 yards almost.
He took like 6 steps back before he broke in and tried to catch the wind-aided pop-up.
Unbelievable. Here's Eckstein.
But we're not thinking about that anymore.
No.
We're over.
I've washed that right out of my brain. Eckstein takes the pitch in tight, hitting .279. He had the big hit last night, a base hit early in the game that knocked in a pair of runs.
And that in your ear. It just does not go away. And he will make you work. You'll see a lot of counts where he gains leverage just because he's got a small strike zone. It's only 5'7", and he hits out of a squat.
And he takes a strike. Gary Darling, the home plate umpire. Han Dreckman Emmel. Lifted into left center field. Rowan calling off Torres. Who's an umpire at first base?
Mr. Hahn.
See that? If you don't do that, then I just don't think it's a game. Here's Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez hitting .275. Went 2 for 4 last night. Had a walk and a strikeout.
Wow. Close pitch.
1 ball and no strikes.
Gary Darling behind the plate. The crew chief, been around a long time. And he can be tight early in a ball game. I mean, he prefers a low strike, but he will give some bell highs every once in a while.
Up and in to Gonzalez. 2 balls and a strike. Cain 4-6 lifetime against these Padres. See his last 2 starts.
Yeah, 5 hits allowed in 15 innings, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Breaking ball pulled on the ground, foul right at the end by our camera people.
You know, it's always nice to be able to establish all your pitches out there on the mound in the windup before you get to the stretch. Nice quiet early first inning. just important to just let you know what's going to be working that night.
And on the foul tip, hanging on is Benji Molina, and that'll end the inning. Giants are coming up.
One of these Padres will be the big left-hander, Clayton Richards, 6'5", 204. Just take a look at the starting pitcher stats. Are brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. 7 start, 1-2. Really good numbers, 28 strikeouts against 17 walks. He's only given up 1 big fly. And we were quite impressed with what we saw him have in San Diego.
On one hop to Headley, and Rowan is retired on 1 pitch. 1 out for Matt Downs.
Richards got a fastball that'll go low 90s, mostly four-seam fastballs. He's got a pretty good split, a cutter, and kind of a sweeping slider. And he likes to throw a lot of sweeps to the left-handed hitters, as you can imagine.
Downs took an 0 for 4 last night, dropping his average to .326. And he looks at a strike.
One thing we were impressed with about Richard was his athleticism, and he really covers his position well defensively. Swings the bat well, and he just does everything well.
Sandoval to follow. Low to Downs. Downs has never faced Richard before. And he's the only one in this Giants lineup that has not seen any at-bats. And that nearly got Downs. It's 2-2. Giants are 18-13. The Padres are 20-12. Chop foul to stay alive. There's Juan Uribe thinking that he might get an at-bat this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Downs works it to a full count.
0-2 to a 3-2. Good at bat.
The Panda getting ready. 3-2 to Matt Downs. Big chopper to Headley, and Headley, kind of an in-between hop, makes a bad throw, and staying on the bag is Gonzalez. It's Wired Wednesday. Let's listen to Matt Downs.
This feels like heaven compared to New York that last day.
There's 4 guys out of my draft class. Me, Rowley,
Burris and Timmy are here. You know, everybody, all they're talking about offense, offense, offense. Come on.
Well, it really is. We hit, we win. Bottom line.
Bottom line. Aubrey Huff's bottom line guy.
He's a bottom line guy. He and John Miller are bottom line guys.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval at 281, 3 home runs, 11 driven in.
I love to hear the hitters talk like that, though. And, the pitchers, I'm sure, are not aware of that conversation. It's good for them to hear it, too.
Sandoval is 2 for 6 lifetime against Richard. Last night, Sandoval 1 for 4. Here he pulls it on the ground to Headley. So Headley gets 3 ground balls. We will head to the second inning. It is 0-0. The special event offer. Headley fouls it back. 415-972-2298. Or, as always, visit sfgiants.com/special events. Headley hitting .313. Shoots this one into left center field. And that'll be a base hit. Amy Gutierrez is here, and let's check in with Amy.
Hi, Dwayne. As you know, and Mike knows, last night the Giants issued 12 walks. That's one away from a San Francisco Giants record of 13. I spoke with pitching instructor Dave Rigetti today about what his role is after a game like that. And he said, hey, last night I'm going to take as an aberration. Happens again, you step in, you tell your pitchers they need to be more aggressive and make the opposing hitters hit it into play. So there's your advice from Dave Rigetti, the man who knows all. Gentlemen?
Indeed he does. Here's Scott Hairston.
It's great advice. You have to put the pressure on the hitter.
Clearly you've seen that the Giants have spoken to their pitchers about making sure you hold these base runners. Headley's got 9 steals. He hasn't been thrown out. He literally beat the Giants with his legs in San Diego in one game. There's a strike.
Now, Bruce Bochy has the ability to call a pitch out, to call a throw over, to call a slide step, to have the pitcher hold the ball. I mean, everything is really controlled and suggested by the bench.
And this one gets away from Molina. So Headley down to second base, and it's a free 90 feet. It'll be a pass ball.
And they set up in the inside corner, and this is just a fastball that just cuts away from the intended target. And, you know, the groove that Matt Cain has been in of late, I mean, he's been really planting those fastballs in the target between the knees. And you can get a bit complacent with a pitcher who has good command. And I think it bit Benji Molina there.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike to Scott Hairston. 2 for 13 in his career against Matt Cain.
Gary Darling is not a bad breaking ball umpire. Normally he hangs it pretty well. I think he thought that was high end inside.
Cain spins around, chases Headley back. You look at the stolen base numbers up and down this lineup. Gwynn has 8. Headley 9. Venable 8. And their percentages are terrific. Foul down the right field line. It's now 2-2. Gwynn is 8 out of 9. Headley hasn't been caught. And Venable hasn't been caught.
But it's a big part of their game plan. And the one thing that they've been very successful at early on this year has been playing little ball. You know, taking the extra 90 feet by way of a stolen base, getting the runner over with nobody out, getting the runner in with less than 2 outs.
Emergency swing by Hairston. Last night, the Padres stole 3 bags. Eckstein, Blanks, and Gwynn. However, not as impressive as Eli Whiteside stealing his first major league.
Yeah, that was very cool.
2-2 to Hairston. Now full count. Padres are 9-7 on the road. Pretty impressive against the West. They're 10-6. Directly opposite of the Giants. Giants have struggled against teams in the West, and mainly because of the Padres. They are 3-7 against the West, 0-4 against San Diego. Down low in the walk to Hairston.
3-2 changeup.
Here's Will Venable. 0 for 1 last night as a pinch hitter. Big breaking ball for a strike.
And when he first came up, that was his strikeout pitch right there, the big overhand curveball. Now you'll see him steal strikes like this, throw it behind the count when he needs to get a strike. Fastball and changeup have become better strikeout pitches for him.
Very high. Headley is at second. He singled. Hairston at first. He walked. Foul off the end of the bat. We got a note from Will Venable before the game. He asked us if we would be kind enough to say hello to his uncle, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Cross, who was watching the game from Iraq. And seeing as how you're Max and Molly's kid, you got it, baby.
Whatever you need. Of course, back then we knew him as William Venable.
1-2 pitch. And Williams strikes out.
Good back foot breaking ball. Just really good use of a 1-2 count. I mean, it's a perfect location. So he kind of softballed him. The only fastball he threw him was a second pitch just to kind of show. And here on a 1-2 count, throws a little snapper down on his leg, and that's a big strikeout with nobody out and runner at second base, that's what you're pitching for.
Kind of has the same flat swing that Nate Sherholtz has. Here's Torrealba. Always a pain to the Giants. His base hit last night knocked in Kyle Blanks, and that proved to be the winning run, as there's a strike on a fastball and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's always seemed to play well against the Giants. Whether he's wearing a Seattle uniform or a Colorado Rocky uniform or a Padre uniform.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Really had him out front. Guys talk about playing behind Kane. They like the calm that he brings the mound. He never really has a change in expression.
Line drive, base hit. Rowan got a good read on it. A little tough time getting it out of his glove. Coming in to score is Headley, and it's 1-0 Padres. So Torrealba does it again.
Man, he did it in an 0-2 count. That's going to bother Kane. You know you have a hot hitter, and the Giants have known that Torrealba was really a hot spot in that lineup. But look at the 0-2 mistake. I mean, that's right out there, right in the middle. That is a hanger, and Torrealba in the shortened two-strike approach goes right back up the middle the way he's taught.
Here's Jerry Hairston. Hairston hitting .208 with 9 RBIs. Fastball is high. Torrealba, Mike mentioned Seattle. Giants traded Jesse Foppert and Torrealba to Seattle for Randy Wynn. They did that in July of 2005. Popped up, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants and Randy Wynn had a good marriage.
Yeah, he was a good Giant. Good teammate. Great presence in the clubhouse. Kind of guy that when he walks out for the last time, you know, his absence is felt.
Yeah, very loud, talked a lot, kind of obnoxious.
What do you have, like 8 words a month? Is that the deal?
Just a true pleasure to be around such a great professional. 2 balls and a strike now to Jerry Hairston. His brother Scott at second base. Right, it is indeed Orange Wednesday here at the ballpark. Three and 1.
This becomes a big pitch. A lot of pitches this inning. Saw it happen last night. Barry Zito in the same set of circumstances. First couple of innings, he had over 40 pitches.
And they're loaded. Second walk in the inning. Here's Clayton Richard. If I remember right, we were impressed that he could swing the bat a little bit.
Good athlete. He's kind of like Matt Cain. I mean, he does everything well, and you definitely have to be careful with him with the bat in his hand.
Rowan out into the gap in left center field is going to track it down. This will be a sacrifice fly, and it's 2-0. So the walk to Harrison does indeed hurt Matt Cain. And here's Tony Gwynn. Gwynn popped out to Aaron Rowan to lead off the ball game. Breaking ball for a strike.
Gwynn is a guy that will put the ball in play. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of swing. Very compact approach. You would expect that in your old man's Tony Gwynn, the Hall of Famer.
Sandoval will take his time even with the speed of Gwynn, and that ends the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 left. Benji Molina is going to lead things off. .337, a couple of home runs, 10 driven in. Molina 1 for 2 with a couple of walks last night. Line drive, left field, base hit. And Benji Molina is aboard for Aubrey Huff. Time for Subway Eat Fresh, asked Krug and Kipe. Joe from Carmichael wants to know, what is the best rookie prank you ever pulled on a teammate?
The best rookie prank you ever pulled on a teammate? Well,
Aubrey Huff, 4 for 7, lifetime with a double off of Clayton Richard.
I think Dan Gladden was the best one I ever saw. We got a box of all-star ballots. It was a big box. It was like 3 by 3 by 3. Probably 15,000 ballots in there.
Huff on the ground, double play ball. 4, 6, 3. Two down for Juan Uribe.
That kind of killed the story. Yeah. So Dan Gladden was doing real well. It was his rookie year. And he was getting a little cocky, so we thought we needed to calm him down. So Kipe goes into the box, and he takes the first inch all around the box. He probably got maybe 250 ballots, and he wrote in Dan Glad, Dan Glad, Dan Glad, Dan Glad, Dan. Wrote it in, Dan Glad. As a rookie, he wasn't even on the list. Wrote it in, Dan Glad. So the team comes in off of batting practice, and we all walk by his locker there in the clubhouse. We walked over and said, "What is this?" He had this box in his locker.
Yeah.
We pulled him out, and we started going, "Look, he's writing his own name in, All-Star team." And he turned 8 shades of red, denied it vehemently.
He wanted a handwriting specialist to let people know it wasn't his signature. There's a foul out of play.
And we never gave it up. He tried to convince everybody in that clubhouse in the next month. One-on-one conversations that it was not true.
He got traded to Minnesota and couldn't wait to do it to the next rook. 2-2 pitch to Uribe. On the ground, Eckstein over his glove and into right field, and it'll be a base hit for Uribe.
A reminder that Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis, has developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs. There's also a product for fans. You can improve your fantasy play or track your favorite players and teams. All you have to do is go to BloombergSports.com for details. There is more stuff at that website than you can imagine. So check it out.
Here's Nate Scherholtz hitting .346. Outside, Scherholtz last night 1 for 4. Scherholtz hitting in the 8th place in the lineup last night. Bouncing ball up the middle. Hairston is going to knock it down, and then no chance. And it's an infield hit for Scherholtz.
That is a C&I ground ball right there. And you can see that they had Jerry Hairston, the shortstop. He was playing towards the bag. Good range, but with the speed of Scherholtz, no chance. He probably would have been better off not making the throw.
Torres hitting .254. Richard does have an open base with Matt Cain on deck. The base is at third, so it may not be open, but at least it's a base. Now Richard steps off. This little guy is very happy with the big foam finger. He's going to hit his sister 25 times tonight with that foam finger. Base hit. Here comes Uribe. Scherholtz flying around second. He goes into third. And the Giants with a 2-out knock from Andres Torres, and they are on the board. 3 straight singles here in the second.
Well, we're going to make this 2-out RBI single by Andres Torres, our Dodge Ram driver of the game. And this is the hit that they've been looking for. They have had no problem setting the table in the series, but coming up with a 2-out knock has been evasive, and this one has to feel pretty good. Dodge Ram driver of the game. Fastball away. Look at the location right there, mid-thigh. Breaks it.
Here's Matt Cain. Cain is 1 for 11, but does not have an RBI. Outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Richard gets the ball back, and he is ready to throw. Cain fouls it out of play, 0-2.
Cain's a threat up there, plus he's got some power.
Defense in the outfield, shading Cain a couple of steps to right field, straight away in the infield.
No, the pitcher up, it really isn't.
They've called a balk, and the Giants have tied it up.
How about that? That is a rookie mistake. And Clayton Richards not a rook.
Bud Black is jawing at somebody.
No, he's jawing at the crew chief, Gary Darling. And I think he called it that the stride was not. Watch the left foot. That's a terrible call because he clearly was on the first base side.
It was almost like he had a little hitch in the leg, a little pause, and then right here. Okay. Now I'm going to first.
Yeah, but the stride is.
Darling called it right here.
Oh, then he thinks he's being deceptive. You saw the swing out movement with Gary Darling. You cannot deceive the runner, and I think that's what he called the balk on.
And Cain strikes out to end the inning. Giants tie it up on the balk. It's 2-2.
Watching him swing, I'm like, dude, what? These are the guys, why do you even play? You're never going to make it. Go away. 2 World Series wins, MVP, and it's just unbelievable.
A gamer, just a gamer,
and
dude.
He's an awesome dude.
Is Eckstein the definition of a gamer?
Hey, Ben.
100% gamer.
You got my ring.
Here's Eckstein to lead things off, and he takes a call strike.
And Sean Dustin said Eckstein's got his ring. And that's exactly how baseball players feel.
On the ground up the middle. Uribe has it. And the big fella throws him out.
I was talking about the rookie mistake that Clayton Richard made in the inning with 2 men on base and 2 outs and a pitcher up. There's no reason to try and pick a runner off. Get the hitter. The very fact that you even subject yourself to a possible balk, even if it was a ticky-tack balk, you don't need to do that. You don't need to throw over at all. That guy's not going anywhere. And that was the mistake. And Giants catch a huge break there to get this game tied.
Here's Edgar Gonzalez, who watches a breaking ball fall in for a strike. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. I wrote Edgar Gonzalez on my scorecard, so I guess that's why I'm calling him that.
Well, he likes to be called his brother's name. His brother also a big leaguer.
2 balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez.
Hey, you're still thinking about that pop-up to Andres Torres in New York on Sunday. Still thinking that happens?
No, I'm not. Actually, the one I'm thinking about is the one that Jason Worth hit.
Yeah, I can't get over that one.
Or the pop-up that Scott Spezio hit. 2-2.
Thanks for bringing that up.
The gust of wind at ballpark in Anaheim that blew that thing out of the park. Fouled out of play. It stays 2-2.
I mean, we could keep this going all the way back to the line drive to Bobby Richardson.
Yeah, and how he was out of position.
Yeah. But hey, we're Giants fans.
Giants baseball.
Tortured.
From the outfield grass, Matt Downs got him.
Well, that shift worked nicely. And this was not an easy play. So what do you say we make it our Home Depot doing more on defense? This thing hits right on the cut of the grass, comes up, and it's a wrestling match for Matt Downs. And he makes it. He makes it not easily, but he makes it. Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Nice play by Matt Downs. Every once in a while, there's an example of why a team plays the shift like that. All right, I've got some white out, and he's back to being officially Adrian Gonzalez. 2 balls and 1 strike. Headley with a single in the second. Straightaway center field for Aaron Rowan. And a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Cain. For the Giants, they will have Aaron Rowan to lead things off. It's a 2-2 ball game. A 2-2 ball game with Aaron Rowan to lead things off here in the home half of the 3rd inning. Clayton Richard making his 7th start, his 2nd this year against the Giants. Rowan saw 1 pitch and he hit it sharply at Headley, only to be thrown out in the bottom of the 1st inning. Soft line drive to Headley, 1 out.
Well, the Crazy Crab is back hosting his annual Crab Feed night on May 26th versus the Washington Nationals. The Crab Feed starts at 5 o'clock in Lot D, with all special event ticket holders receiving a free crab sandwich or beverage of their choice. In addition to access to the Crab Feed, ticket holders get a free Crazy Crab t-shirt and a seat in the Crazy Crab section for the game. Call 415-972-2298. Check it out.
All right, somebody just walked in front of us with some garlic fries.
Oh, man.
There they are, right there.
Yeah. You got a good sniffer.
Downs takes a strike at the knees.
Of course, you could be in a 9-day coma and smell those.
And my goodness. Look at this guy. Doesn't even know him. People are digging in.
Yeah, and everybody there wants a bite.
Hey! Oh, man.
Yeah, next time he comes walking by, make him pay the toll, will you?
Just inside, 2-2. I want to get that.
Gilroy garlic fries, and they are good.
Downs lines it at Headley.
That was a bullet.
All right, let's check in with Amy G.
Well, fellas, Pablo's coming up to the plate, and it is true he has been struggling as of late, just 5 hits in his last 46 at-bats. But let's look at the bigger picture and give credit to Giants PR man Matt Chisholm for crunching these numbers for us. Looking at his first 31 games of 2009 and 2010, his average has dropped some, but take a look at the power numbers. Very, very similar. 8 doubles this year, 9 last, 2 triples each year, 3 home runs each year. Doing pretty well if you look at the bigger picture, fellas.
Yeah, he just hit that stretch where he couldn't buy anything.
He was talking about it behind the batting cage today. So, you know what, baseball, it's a funny game. It can give you lots. It can take away lots.
Down the right field line, Venable playing there, and Venable reaches up on the track to put it away. 4th inning coming up.
+30 home run seasons. The only player in Padres history.
Scott Hairston, Will Venable, your Torrealba. 4th inning. Down the left field line, a long run for Torres. Heads up, and he makes the catch and crashes into that sidewall and hangs on.
Well, that's not an easy play for a lot of reasons. Number one, tough to get there. And number 2, you got a lot of distraction with the wall. And he goes full bore. No problem. You know, when you're on the mound and the guy does that, you just want to stop the game, run out there, and give him a hug.
It's a really good example of how the padded walls can make a difference.
And Wrigley Field,
forget it.
You're DL'd.
One and one to Will Venable. Watch how he bangs his knees into this padded wall. And it's very well cushioned.
It's the greatest thing they've done, this generation of player, is make the playing surface safe.
Change up from Matt Cain. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pulled foul. 2-2.
You know, you brought up that swing of the bat by Scott Spezio of the Angels, which was a big hit in that series. I got a text message from Kirk Reeder, Woody. He said, thanks for bringing it up 2002. Now he has to go back to therapy.
It's nice Woody's watching and listening. He's been known to turn the volume down. 2-2 pitch to Venable. High, 3-2. Venable struck out on a.
Hey, there's no yawning in baseball.
And that whole section was out of oxygen there for about 5 seconds.
He took all the air, didn't he?
Gary Darling flinched a little bit, and Venable takes the walk.
He has a tight zone, folks. You got to earn your strikes with this guy. Not a real popular umpire with pitchers. But you know the deal going in. I mean, his reputation's around the league. Darling's been around a long time, a crew chief here. But he is tight.
Torrealba knocked in a run with a base hit in the second. Will Venable, remember I mentioned earlier, has not been caught stealing. He's 8 for 8. And he goes and forget it. I mean, he could steal that standing up, and he almost did. Kane, he broke before Kane came to the plate.
There you go. The point you make is a good one. And you know, the last thing you do is you make that guy stop, and then you go immediately once you have justified your mind that he is to a full stop. So those are small things that loom large when you have an aggressive team that can steal bases. You know, your unload time, Matt Cain, his unload time is good, and he's right there at 1.25 consistently or below. Just a matter of being able to do little things and make a guy stop that would give Benji Molina a better chance to throw people out.
Well, now Kane's got to keep an eye on Venable, who's at second. Backhanded play by Molina. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rockies beat the Phillies today. It was supposed to be a doubleheader. The second game was postponed due to bad weather. But that was a start for Doc Holliday. Holliday ended up with a no decision. 2-1 pitch to Torrealba is out of play, 2-2. Miguel Olivo hit a walk-off.
Team that's scuffling right now is Milwaukee. They're getting beat. They're getting beat by big numbers.
And again today, right?
Yeah, 9-2. They got beat by Atlanta. How about Houston? They've won 2 in a row now over St. Louis. In St. Louis.
Torrealba on the ground to Sandoval. Sandoval will throw him out. And now with first base open, we'll see what Bruce Bochy does with Jerry Hairston. Hairston drew a walk in the second. Two-two ball game. We're in the 4th inning. Fair ball. Down the third base line. Here comes Venable. And sliding into second is Hairston.
Well, that's what you want when you're right down the lineup as a manager. You're looking at some type of hitter to hit in the 8th spot. And with a runner at second base, Matt Cain given the opportunity to throw to this pitcher or to this 8th place hitter. And if you get him out, then you get to have the pitcher lead off next inning. But the type of hitter Harrison is he can expand. And he's a guy that, is going to make contact. And if you throw something in the strike zone, he can hurt you. He just did.
Richard with a foul back.
But I know what? One thing is that I don't think that Kane is going to be allowed to throw to an 8th-place hitter the rest of this night with a runner in scoring position and a pitcher like that.
3-2 Padres. A walk in a stolen base. And the Padres take the lead. It's 0-2.
Those are little mistakes that stay with you. You have a tendency to be hard on yourself when you give up 0-2 base hits, or you give up base hits to 8th-place hitters and pitchers on deck.
Down low, 1-2. Aubrey Huff will go to the bag, side retired. Padres pick up a run and they retake the lead.
AT&T. Rethink possible. The question, can you name the only player in Padres history with 3 30 home run seasons? Our survey said, well, Adrian Gonzalez. He's that man.
It was so easy, I didn't get it. I was thinking Caminiti, Jack Clark,
Dave Winfield.
Yeah, that guy too. Here's Molina. Molina singled in the second inning as he takes the first pitch down low. 3-2 Padres. That was your final score last night. Aubrey Huff, Juan Uribe. Foul back, 1-2. Molina steps out. Down low, 2-2.
Talked about the size of Richard, 6'5", 240. very compact, which is really what you have to be. I mean, the one thing about pitching, about any motor skill sport, you have to be able to repeat the stroke. And the guy's 6'5", 240, he's a little disadvantaged. He's got more body to control than the guy who, say, is Tim Lincecum's size. And what you wind up with is a guy who really takes motion out to where he gets very compact. You don't see too many corner strikes with Gary Darling. Got a very quiet take-back step, straight leg lift, very erect, very balanced before he starts home.
Came into Benji Molina, who fought it off.
That's a good at bat.
Making him work.
Good at bat. Benji said he wants to manage someday. When he's done playing, at some point, let's get back in, and he wants to try his hand at managing.
Another base hit for Benji Molina.
I think he'd be a good one. The Giants baseball is brought to you by Supercuts. Save money without looking like it. Supercuts.
Good line.
Yeah.
Aubrey Huff hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the second. He has hit Richard well, though. He's now 4 for 8 lifetime. Double play ball. And another double play. Tune in to Bay Area's #1 rated 11 p.m. newscast. That's NBC Bay Area tonight at 11. And wake up with traffic and weather on NBC Bay Area weekday morning starting at 4:30 a.m. Uribe flips one into center field, and making the catch is Tony Gwynn to end the inning. So the double play ball helps Richard through 4 innings, 3-2 Padres.
First 800 fans participate in a human red ribbon. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
Top of the order for the Padres, it's Gwynn, then Eckstein, followed by Gonzalez. And the fastball is high. Gwynn is 0 for 2. Hit a ball on the ground, he's hit a ball in the air. And he takes a strike. Up high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Got to hit that fastball just a little bit.
Breaks his bat right near the bag is Aubrey Huff. So the speedy Gwynn is retired, and let's check in with Amy.
Hey, Dwayne. Well, fans, if you're a record person, then you may think the first place Padres will be the biggest competition in the National League West for the Giants. Or if you think there's a whole lot of baseball still to play, maybe it's someone else. Who do you think will be the biggest competition in the National League West for the Giants? That is our poll question. Check it out at csnbayarea.com, and then check out the results on Giants Postgame Live. Gentlemen?
All right, thanks, Amy. Here's Eckstein.
Tight zone tonight. As tight as this guy's zone is, I mean, you don't want it to be any tighter than it already is. The other thing, too, is, with the 2-out mistake that came through Jerry Hairston, that enabled Hairston to get a double and knock in the go-ahead run, that's a kind of mistake that kind of stays with you.
Uribe will go out and put it away.
During the course of the ball game, you can still have some mental residue.
This is what you always have to live with if you got Andres Torres playing behind you. Not a problem. Not a problem. And then watch Uribe. What the heck are you doing?
Who was that? Thought it was a seagull. Yep, he's a funny guy.
0-1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Now Torres can run, and indeed he does. Out of nowhere, here he comes. Whew, what the heck are you doing?
Astros first of 3 against Houston. Package will include a Giants-themed sake glass and masu. Only available if you buy the ticket for the Japanese Heritage Night. Call 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out. Plus, there's a pregame sake tasting festival.
Sherrills breaks his bat, bounces one to Eckstein, and Eckstein will throw him out. And that'll bring to the plate Andres Torres.
Yeah, Tigger's in. This has become a zoo-like atmosphere.
Torres looks at a strike at the knees. Those are our folks. 1 ball and 1 strike. Torres with an RBI single to give the Giants their first run, and it was a 2-out base hit. Off the end of the bat, 1-2.
Good changeup.
Matt Cain is on deck. Padres with 3 hits, the Giants with 5. Out of play. Really, the difference right now is Cain has walked 3, and 2 of those 3 walks have scored.
Now Clayton Richards still has not walked anybody in this game. Be a good time for it right here.
And he does.
Sets up the bunt situation now for Cain. Bunt should go down the first base line, but you got to be careful because Adrian Gonzalez is an excellent throwing first baseman. You do, however, have good speed with Torres at first.
There's the bunt. Gonzalez thought about it. Chooses to go to first.
Well, anybody else but Andres Torres, there would have been a play to second base.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Gonzalez didn't throw it because he's a good thrower.
Just too much steam on the bunt. And you can see him come down and anticipate, took a long look, and then took the sure out.
Rowan has hit the ball hard twice. He's got nothing to show for it. And he takes a first pitch strike right at the knees, and it's 0-1.
I think you're going to see him think about the right field gap right now, right center. Two back-to-back outside corner fastballs, and he gets a quick 0-2 advantage. This is where Torrealba likes to change sightlines and go upstairs.
Out of play, and he did.
Now, he likes that sightline change a lot. We saw him use it last night in a situation where guys should be looking up in a sacrifice fly situation. I think it's a good pitch, but there are certain times I wouldn't use it. See a lot of movement back there with Torrealba, especially down at second base. He'll slap the glove and deke like he wants a breaking ball. He'll set up inside, then move away. And he's not afraid to go to the mound.
He's got the pocket out in the back, and I watched in the on-deck circle a fan pointed out to Torrealba that he had his pocket out, and he jerked on it like, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, it's there by design. he got into a hot streak with that pocket like that, and got changed it.
And that'll end the inning. Sixth inning coming up.
It's a high fly ball, and out of nowhere comes Andres Torres to take on the wall and make the play, and Matt Cain was digging that. Coors Light Freeze Camp brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
1 ball and no strikes to Chase Headley. Headley will get new lumber. He's singled in the second, flied out in the third. That boy will come out with a new bat for Headley. Some of that stickum on it. Get rid of the stickum.
The Manny Mota stickum.
I have to believe anything is better than pine tar.
You were not a pine tar fan?
I did. I used it, but I didn't get pine tar off my hands until Christmas.
Yeah, well, there's the pine tar rag. That thing opens up, and inside it is a towel and covered with pine tar. I mean, pine tar has been around forever.
Yeah.
They just haven't found anything better other than until Manny Mota came along.
Torres coming in, racing in, dives, and he makes the catch.
Boy, he's putting on a show tonight with a glove. We said that was one of our keys. They had to play clean, and he is doing the job in left. The hardest play is when you're coming forward and you have to go to a backhand on a dive, and that's when you can hurt yourself. And he comes up with a nice clean snag. And rolls his wrist right through, and fortunately everybody's okay. Okay, taking it again.
Scott Hairston. Hairston sends a souvenir into the seats.
He's all tore up, dirty, ripped, bleeding. It's the way he likes it.
Another pop-up and another souvenir. The only guy in that section that brought his glove, and it went right in it.
Well, he had him played perfectly. Nice going. You get to this yard, folks, bring your glove. Because you will have a chance to make a play.
Ball back. Hairston battling Kane. Kane with 81 pitches on the night.
Just like every other night, I mean, the guy's uncanny as to how he picks up rhythm during the course of a game. And he gets a roll, and he'll just blow through innings in the middle of the game. The old saying about if you're going to get Matt Kane, you got to get him early. That's what they said about a lot of really great pitchers. They brought the blanket.
A 1-2 pitch. Line drive past Uribe. All right, it's Wired Wednesday. Matt Downs talking about Will Venable.
Like I shut it down. He thought there wasn't going to be a throw. So then I just bounced in there real quick. You didn't see him? He got caught between the slides and we about got him, but I didn't get there quick enough.
Here's Will Venable, who stole that bag in the 4th inning and eventually scored the lead run. Hairston's got 3 steals on the year. He's 3 out of 4.
You just know that they're going to go. And that's just what the Padres do.
At the knees, and it's 0-1 to Will Venable.
Bud Black has built his team with good speed. Cat and mouse game begins. Come set, hold it, throw over. Come set, throw. Come set, quick, throw. Come set, hold it, hold it. So important to adjust your rhythms.
Hit very well into center field. Rowan back. Rowan's going to reach up and make the catch. Tagging is Hairston. He will go into second. Venable scorched that ball.
He did. I mean, he's got some power. He's got good bat speed. And this is a ballpark where you start to hold your breath this time of year because you know you're going to get carry out to center field. And Rowan got a really good jump off the crack of the bat. You can see him break, and his route was true. And he gets the reward by making the out.
Hairston wisely read that Rowan was going to catch that ball. Here's Torrealba. Torrealba takes a strike.
Padres have done an exceptional job. In 2 out, runner in scoring position at bat.
Well, that was pretty new.
Yeah. What? 2 months?
Yeah.
3 months max.
Be able to hold her head up.
Still in lump of clay stage. You can set her down. She's going to be in that same spot. Oh, yeah. You had that same drool bead coming back from New York in your nap. I just want you to know that.
I did. I absolutely did. Base hit. And guess what pitch it came on? Here's Rowan's throw. It's going to be late. And for the second time today, Torrealba beats Kane 0-2.
Boy, and this is going to be one of those nights where he is just going to be so upset at himself for the 2-0-2 mistakes. They want to go inside with it, and this is just a mistake out over the plate at the belt. And he's in a protect mode, and a guy who's hot, who's got great back control, he's going to take swing out and go back up the middle. And he beats him the same way like he beat him in his last at bat in the second. And you can see the reaction.
So this time the Giants are going to walk Hairston. Giants did not do this in the fourth inning, and Hairston doubled and knocked in a run.
Just mistakes. I mean, that's when you look back on this game, you're going to look back at the 2-0 base hits from Torrealba that produced runs, and then that 2-out pitcher on deck, runner in score position, nobody at first base, allowing Kane to pitch to Jerry Hairston. That was, so 3 runs.
Join us tomorrow. It's an afternoon game. We'll be on the air at 12:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It'll be the conclusion of this 3-game series. It'll be Latos against Sanchez. Richard has hit a sacrifice fly, and he's bounced out. Breaking ball is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a foul off the heel of Richard, and it's a ball and a strike. Hairston, a 1-out single. Venable flies out to deep center field with Hairston tagging. And then on an 0-2 pitch, Torrealba knocks him in.
Well, you definitely will stay mad at yourself for a long time because of those mistakes. Because he knows better.
That'll end the inning. Padres add another run. It's 4-2 San Diego.
home entertainment. Now available in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley.
Here's our McDonald's game summary. Torrealba's hurt the Giants with a couple of singles. Richard's been good. Andres Torres has a base hit. Kane, 4 earned runs in 6 innings, and that's our McDonald's game summary. Downs takes a strike.
Well, with the reputation of the Padres bullpen, this becomes a big inning.
Downs lines it right at the shortstop. Hairston, 1 out. That's the second time he's lined out.
Man, his first at bat, he grounded out sharply. He's hit the ball in the nose 3 times. He's got with the little bird left on the rock.
Sandoval has bounced out and he lined out to right field.
It's time for pandemonium. Creative at a bit. Nice going.
Big chopper into hole and into left field. A base hit.
Time now for True Giants stories. Did you know that May 12, 2009, Pablo Sandoval hits his first career walk-off homer off of Washington's Joe Beimel, a 3-run blast for a 9-7 win? Visit farmers.com to hear real true stories from Farmers customers and find a Bay Area agent near you. Farmers Insurance, ready, feels good. I remember that night.
I do. 2 outs, nobody on. Giants trailed by a run, and they came back to tie and then win it. Here's Molina, who's 2 for 2. First pitch is a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Outside, 2-0. Sandoval at first, Molina at the plate. Benji Molina fouls it back.
He's had good swings against Richard all night long.
Family gathering.
Oh, yeah. You can tell who's big in their house.
2-1 to Molina. 2-2.
Richard just staying out there on that outside corner. The Panda herd is absolutely growing.
2-2.
Oh, yeah.
Popped up. Eckstein puts it away. 2 outs.
This is going to be a grinding at bat. And I say that because his first 2 ABs, he's hitting double plays. And he's been swinging the bat well. And this guy does not take 2 at-bats where he hits the double plays well. This will be a grind.
Base hit. And that'll bring up Uribe, who's hit the ball hard twice. Torrealba is going to make a trip to the mound. Uribe singled in the second and lined out to center field in the fourth. Pulls it on the ground, foul, and it's 0-1.
Always seems to get down to the 2-out at bat with runners in score position. Padres tonight have done an excellent job of that at bat. Giants have a chance to get right back into this game with this at bat here. The hitters think about that going up too. They know the deal.
That's where Torrealba wanted it, 1-2. Sandoval is at second. Huff is at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Uribe seeing more pitches.
Kane looking for some help. Pick him up. Get those 2 runs back.
In the dirt. Both runners advance.
Well, now this is obviously a break for the Giants in a situation for Bud Black, the Padres skipper, as to whether or not they want to continue the at-bat with a left-handed hitting Nate Scherholtz on deck. You got a young pitcher out there. Young pitchers, they don't often take advantage of the situation the right way. The right way would be to throw something down out of the strike zone or up out of the strike zone. The key being out of the strike zone with an open base and a 3-2 pitch.
Like that.
That's a good pitch. You're basically saying, I don't really care if I walk it. If you're going to swing, you can go out of the zone and try and chase my pitch.
Darren Balsley is out to the mound to have a word.
Richard handled that situation well. You would expect that from a Michigan man. Went to the University of Michigan.
I would truly believe that there's some folks in Ohio that would disagree with you.
Well, I said that for the benefit of one of our really good camera people, Rick Ratus, that went to Ohio State.
Scherholtz has an infield hit, and he's bounced out on a broken bat ground ball. And he takes outside 1-0.
Good take. You're going to see a lot of those breaking balls. He likes to throw that pitch to lefties. Scherholtz, a middle away guy. I mean, that really feeds his side of the plate. He likes middle away.
Two and 0.
Dan runs are going down to get greased up.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Eckstein will underhand it to Hairston, and that will end the inning. It stays 4-2 Padres.
And I also spoke to Padres manager Bud Black, who had some uplifting news. He said he spoke with Kevin. He's going to meet the team when they depart from the plane in San Diego tomorrow, and he is ready for his scheduled start on Saturday. On behalf of the Giants organization and Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, to Kevin and your family, our thoughts are with you. Fellas?
Thanks, Amy, and we echo that. 2-0 to Gwynn. 4-2 Padres. 3-0 to Gwynn. Gwynn has bounced out twice and he's popped out.
Should be taken all the way here. And I would be surprised to see him taken all the way 3-1. It's going to be a good leadoff here in this league. You cannot be afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Three and 2 on the foul ball into the club level. Four runs on 5 hits for San Diego, 2 runs on 7 hits for the Giants. Uribe can't get it, and it's a base hit and a leadoff single for Gwynn.
Pitch number 101.
Well, the new 6-packs are now available. It's your choice of the Willie Mays The Catch bobblehead presented by local 38 Plumbers Union, or the Lucy bobblehead presented by AT&T. The 2 6-game ticket packages include games against the A's, Mets, Cubs, and Dodgers. Seats are available in view reserved and bleachers for only $99. Visit sfgiants.com.
They would get out, stall a little bit, give runners a chance to throw a few more pitches. Adrian Gonzalez is on deck, the left-handed hitter, and it would definitely be an option for Bruce Bochy to throw the lefty against the lefty. Matt Cain, however, should have another 25 pitches in his arm, as big and strong as he is. A lot to think about for Bruce Bochy right now.
Would let Eckstein take a couple of pitches, see if Gwynn could steal second, and then use the ball.
I don't think there's any doubt that at some point he's going to try and steal. Your best weapon right now, especially against a guy with good speed like Gwynn, is just to hold him. Ice him down, freeze him. Make him get in that squat and hold him there.
There's the bunt, and it stays fair, forcing Huff to pick it up and get rid of it quickly.
Well, that was a nice play by Aubrey Huff. That was not an easy play. But the way the breaks have gone in this ball game, I mean, it was conceivable to think that ball was going to stay fair. Right now, you got to make a call, boom, and then from that position, no stride, just turn around and pivot your hips to your target. You don't have to put much on the throw, but it has to be accurate. And accurate it was. Nice play. Watch reaction. That's what Pat App was. Athletic Pat with a squeeze. Interesting, though, with Bud Black bunting Eckstein and not letting him take a couple pitches to have Gwynn try and steal, you lose Adrian Gonzalez.
That's right.
That's why, stolen bases are great, but when a guy has home run power like Adrian Gonzalez, when you hit over 40 home runs in the big leagues, you got power. You got premier power. You're in scoring position if you're at first base. And he just took the bat out of his hands.
Here's Headley. Headley is singled. He's flied out. And then he hit a fly ball down the left field line that check that. That was a line drive that Torres came in on and made a terrific catch. And that ball gets away from Mulaney and he can't find it. And both runners move up.
Just a miscommunication. Mitchell Molina looking breaking ball, and I think that fastball caught him on the wrist. I don't think he got any glove on this. No, he did. Got the heel of the glove on it. Luckily, that's how you hurt a catcher.
Now he is holding his hand.
That is how you hurt a catcher. I mean, it's better if they're looking fastball and you cross them up with a breaking ball, I suppose. But when you're looking breaking ball and they throw 94 at you, that's when you can break something.
Too many mistakes tonight.
It's been a sloppy game. He has still got a grimace going.
He may walk Headley now.
Watch it where it catches him right at the heel of the glove. It does not feel good. And indeed are going to walk it.
Well, it's going to look in Kane's line that he walked a lot of people. He's walked 3 now intentionally. It'll be Scott Hairston who's going to hit with the bases loaded.
Now, right here is where you need to get lucky. You're pitching for a strikeout, plain and simple. That's down 2 with the bullpen that the Padres had. You really can't afford to go down many more. 111 pitches. Chance to play the middle infield is a double play depth. Like I say, you need to get lucky right here.
High and away to Hairston. Hairston has scored twice. He's walked and he's singled. Not give you that pitch. 2-0. Torres is going to get a running start. He catches it. He throws it. Much too late. Gwynn scores. It's 5-3.
Nice at bat from Hairston.
And here comes Bruce Bochy to call in Runzler. So the wild pitch ends up hurting the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
time. 15 strikeouts in 14 innings. The one blemish, the walk total, which is a bit of a surprise because he didn't have problems with his command at all last year.
To Will Venable and a fastball high. 2 outs, a run in. And will end up going 6 2/3. Only allowed 6 hits. But we mentioned in the open, it's not how many hits you get, it's when you get them. And the Padres got them all at the right time.
Well, a lot of good 2-out at bats. And that has been the difference in this game. They have taken advantage of the walks and the location mistakes when they've been behind the count 0-2.
Venable fouls it back. Strikes out Venable to end for the 7th. A run on 1 hit. It's 5-2 Padres.
Damon, back here, the Giants have some work to do, trailing the Padres by a score of 5-2.
First pitch to Torres is outside for a ball. 5-2. Giants have 9 more outs in this game, as Torres will flip this out to right. 8 more outs, 1 down. Tune in to Bay Area's #1 rated 11 p.m. newscast, NBC Bay Area tonight at 11, and wake up with traffic and weather on NBC Bay Area weekday morning starting at 4:30. Here's pinch hitter Ryan Rollinger. Rollinger taking all the way, and he takes a strike.
One to measure, one to rake.
Rollinger started on Sunday and went 1 for 2. 2 outs. Richard on cruise control right now. Tonight at 10:30, Sportsnet Central.
All smiles on the Padres side tonight. Giants need a little 2-out thunder right now.
Well, I think it's easy to see right now what team is doing the right things and what team isn't.
Oh, you're exactly right. I mean, it's just been a game where the Padres have basically played a mistake-free game, and the Giants can't say that.
Chopper to short. Hairston will make the play, and right now Richard is breezing.
I'm a little nervous on that. He's a player. He's a gamer.
It is Wired Wednesday. We'd like to thank Matt Downs for wearing the wire. In a 5-2 lead right now for the Padres as Denny Batista is facing your Torrealba.
And 95 right out of bed. Well, Batista, you're going to see a high-velocity fastball. Third time he's come into a ball game. 3 walks in 2 innings. Allowed just 1 hit. Batista, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, although you won't see many changeups. He's a big guy, 6'5", 190.
Torrealba, this is where he wants to be.
Well, he's not afraid to succeed in 2-strike counts. 0-2 counts.
He's got 2 RBI singles on 0-2 counts. Fouled out of play.
There you see the damage. Those 2 hits, 0-2 knocks that produce runs. He has been a difference maker in this game.
And he gets him on a high fastball.
Well, that's definitely an area you're not going to get hurt. He's throwing up there above the letters and hope he chases it. Indeed he does. Torrealba had been a hot hitter coming into the series. And he has stayed hot.
Well, he only gets hot at the right times for the Padres, the Rockies, as we mentioned. It's when those guys are on base. Jerry Hairston is 1 for 1. He's walked a couple of times, one time intentionally. And right now, Batista's throwing strikes.
Yeah, it's an easy 95. As you see Mike Adams, the setup man for the Padres, getting greased up. He will pitch the 8th. Clayton Richards' night is over.
Uribe off the top of his glove. He's kicked it around a little bit, but it's a 1-out single.
A crisp line drive just over the outstretched arm. I think he'd have been about 6'4", he'd have caught that.
Here's Salazar. 2 for 3 last night. Salazar hitting .219. Salazar played or was in the lineup with the lefty Barry Zito on the mound.
Salazar been around a while. First year of organized baseball, 1995 with the Athletics.
Foul back is a good swing at the Batista fastball.
Salazar's 50th year, excluding 2006 when he sat out a whole year of professional baseball. He's played a long time. He's got just over a year and a half at the big league level. So he has ridden a lot of buses.
Hairston is, I think he's going.
I just assume every Padre on base is running.
Batista goes hard, long and lanky. A lot of times because of that, it's hard to be quick to the plate. 0-2.
Good fastball there. So you threw a ball by a guy upstairs, and you definitely think you could do it again. I mean, that's just good old-fashioned country hardball is what that is. That's 6 cents for pitchers when they know they can throw a ball by a guy.
Runner goes. Pitch is high.
Well, from start to finish, Hairston 3.24 seconds in that steal. And from that start right there to the belly slider when he touches that bag, 3.24 seconds. So you start to understand the equation. As a pitcher, you try to get 1.25 from your unload time, the time you move, your first move to home, and when that ball gets to the catcher when it hits a bat. That's your unload time. So 1.25 seconds or below is what they want. And then a catcher, they want him 2 seconds or below.
One and two to Salazar. Check swing foul over the backstop. They're a confident team right now, the San Diego Padre team. Way inside, it's 2-2.
You know, you can see the confidence up and down the lineup. Team gets it going, and a lot of guys who are insignificant players elevate their game and become significant factors and contributors on a daily basis, and all of a sudden you get 25 guys going the same direction. The Giants have had that same feeling in their clubhouse, but their team concentration has been fragmented in this 2-game series. They have made a lot of mistakes, a lot of walks, 0-2 base hits by 8th-place hitters with pitchers on deck and an open first base, runner in scoring position.
Down low, it's 3-2 to Salazar.
Those are mistakes. And those are mistakes that big leaguers know better than to make. But you have to credit the Padres for taking advantage of those opportunities. Because they're not a team that's going to beat you with a 3-run homer. They're not built that way.
Payoff pitch coming up. And Batista walked him. And here's Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn is 1 for 4. He scored a run in the 7th.
Is that Carol Murphy and Marianne Cano?
I think it was.
Couple of gamers.
Brandon Metters goes down to the Giants bullpen. And a strike on the outside corner. Another strike in the same spot.
Bang, bang. 2 outside fastballs, mid-90s.
And Gwynn overmatched. 2 outs.
Well, that was too easy. 0-2, 2 fastballs, and here's an 0-3, 3 fastballs. Gets him to just sort of flinch at the elevator, chest high, swing through strike. And that's a big strikeout.
Runners go. It'll be a double steal. Slowly hit to Downs. Downs will flip to Huff, and that'll end the inning. Giants have some work to do. They trail by 3. Home half of the 8th coming up. in Texas. And the Sharks will gear up for the Chicago Blackhawks. All that's coming up at 10:30 on Sportsnet Central.
I think the Sharks are chomping at the bit. You going?
I do.
I do too.
I absolutely do.
So it's Mike Adams going to take the ball and try and protect the lead. He's the setup man. 5-2 Padres in the bottom of the 8th here. These are the numbers for Adams. And they are excellent. 17 strikeouts in 15 innings. He has been impressive.
Downs takes a pitch wide. He's hitless in 3 at-bats, although he's had 3 good at-bats.
There's the Panda on deck.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Adams has that slider. Low 90s fastball. A 2-4 break on the curveball because of the high 3/4 release and a changeup. So he's got 4 pitches that you'd normally see from a starter. A little bit rare that a closer would come in here and have the ability to give you 4 different looks, but he's got them.
Downs pops it up, middle of the diamond. Hairston makes the play. 1 out for Pablo Sandoval.
Brandon Meadows one more time going to get greased up.
Sandoval 1 for 3. Shoots it to left field, but the speedy Hairston will run it down. 2 outs. Pitching and defense.
Well, with this center field configuration with Hairston, Gwynn, and Venable, that may be the fastest outfield in the National League. You got 3 guys that can play center field and 3 guys with great range.
Here's Benji Molina. Molina pops it out of play.
Oh yeah, I got the colors on. They're just waiting for some runs. Rally cap time. 2 different varieties of the rally cap.
We're into varieties at this point.
Got to find one that works.
Molina pops it up. A souvenir, and it's 0-2. Aubrey Huff would follow if Kane reaches. Right back to Adams, and a 1-2-3 inning for the Padres. 9th inning coming up, 5-2 San Diego. with 7 hits. Brandon Metters, who pitched last night, pitched 2/3 of an inning. He is on to face Adrian Gonzalez, who is 0 for 3.
12th game that he's been in for Bruce Bochy. When he went through his rough spell, he was really looking for a set of mechanics that would allow him to control his pitches and maximize his stuff.
Sandoval on the pop-up. 1 out.
Brandon Metters would get here early, and he would be over on the mound. And he'd be working on his motion by himself, nobody else in the ballpark. I mean, he was getting here at noon for a 12 o'clock game, trying to figure it out. And if you think about it, it's a pretty tough assignment when you're a relief pitcher trying to find the mechanics, because you have to save your arm for the game.
At the knees to Headley.
He would do towel work. He would take a towel and he would stand up there on the mound and he would simulate the throwing motion and try and get some snap on the towel.
Headley 1 for 3.
And Metters has slowly but surely come out of his funk, and he's starting to throw the ball like he did last year.
Sandoval charging, and Sandoval throws out Headley.
You say Headley?
Headley. Can't really steal John's material. And that'll bring up Hairston. The Hairston brothers tonight in 8 at-bats. They've been on base 6 times. One of those at-bats by Scott Hairston was a sacrifice fly. So they've really only been charged with 1 out.
Well, the Hairstons have had a reputation for haunting the Giants organization. But how stoked do you think that those guys are getting a chance to play with each other?
Yeah, it is a good thing. Sandoval from deep third. And that'll end the inning. Last chance for the Giants. Huff, Uribe, Sherholtz, 5-2 Padres. And he's moving around pretty good.
Ron Wotus in charge of the infielders, talking things over with Emmanuel Burris. He's thinking 6 weeks before he can start getting into game situations, and he goes maybe another month. I'm thinking maybe by All-Star break I might be good to go, and that's his hope. Good to see him back.
Here's Aubrey Huff. Huff is 1 for 3.
He fell, the closer for the Padres in. It's the 16th time he's come in. He's 9 for 11 in save opportunities. You'll see a pretty straight mid-90s fastball, slider, curveball combination. He's a strike throw.
Up the middle and through Bell and into center field. A base hit.
Now, it definitely got the fans into it. And they've been looking for something to cheer about.
Here's Uribe. Uribe, 1 for 2, lined out to center field. Scored one of the 2 runs that the Giants have in this game. Uribe hit a home run off of Bell in San Diego to tie a game in the 9th. Only to have the Giants lose very soon after. Lifts it out to left for Will Venable. 1 out. And here's Nate Scherholtz. Scherholtz is 1 for 3.
Giants need base runners. Plain and simple.
No swing on the appeal. The breaking ball to the back foot. Right there for a strike to even the count. Giants need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate. Scherholtz takes high. Walk right now is as good as a hit.
They'll stay in that outside corner.
On the ground, Epstein spins. They get 1 there, and that's it. Four 6 on the fielder's choice. And here's Torres. As John Boucher grabs the bat, he's on deck.
Well, that's Andres Torres' goal right now, to get John Boucher at a bat.
Inside to Torres. Andres Torres has been on base twice, a single and a walk. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good healthy rip. Padres have had magic over the Giants.
They're 1 out away from going 5-0 against the Giants this year. Sherholtz will go. He will get the second. No steal for Sherholtz. Check swing foul, 2-2.
Boy, you hate to give up a strike like that, don't you?
Well, you do, and it's so important that you get on base. Sherholtz's run doesn't mean anything at second.
Pretty good pitch, pretty good take right there.
Well, it's very important that Giants fans realize that if they can get this guy a couple of swings, you never know what can happen. Got him, and that's the ball game.
I don't know about that strike.
So the Padres take the first 2 games in this series, and they do it by a final.
Set up at the outside corner, Kai.
So Torres ends the ball game by taking that pitch, and the Padres are now 21-12. They're 2.5 games up on